R.I. Presents.
Sea People Mountain People Chapter 2 Encounter with Mythology. Previous overview. The young man ran up the river with all his heart to see her, but when he reached the middle, a stone thrown by the men of the Wajin hit him directly, and the young man fell and was swept away by the river. When the young man fell and flowed down the surface of the river, I was surprised by the words of the man who said, "It's like a crocodile flowing." I wondered what kind of nerves he had. We were watching the young man from a way long distance, and the moment the young man fell and flowed down the river, everyone was running in his direction. However, there were many stones on the river bank and it was difficult to catch up with the young man who was drifting away the river. Hurry up and help him. As we were chasing the young man, we saw a figure jump out of the shadows ahead of us and run across. The person is quite large. The figure quickly crossed the riverbank and jumped straight into the river, picked up the young man in no time. When I looked closely, the big person looked like a man, and he was heading towards the riverbank with the young man in his arms. And when he came back to the riverbank, we finally arrived at the place a little later. The man lowered down the young man, raised his upper body and hit hard him the back several times. Then the young man coughed and spat out water at the same time, so he laid the young man lay on his side and muttered something to the young man. After that, he muttered in a small voice, "The guys at Yaso are doing too much," in a Japanese. Hearing his muttering, "What? Japanese?" When I was surprised, I saw that Tokupchuk's body was shocked. I surprised her again. I said in a small voice, "I'm sorry," and her nodded a few times. After that, a small voice said softly, "LMCUE," but I didn't understand the meaning of those words. The man took a quick look at the young man, then stood up and looked at the Wajin upstream on the river. That's when I could see his appearance. He dresses the same as ours, but he's tall and muscular. He is about 30 centimeters taller than my fellow men, and he looked so strong that I felt intimidated. He has a lot of beards on his face, but his eyes are beautiful and he has clear eyes. I think he would be handsome if he shaved his beard. He's not the type I like, but when I thought he was dependable, he said something and walked away. Who is he? I didn't miss it. It is not an ordinary person who can speak Ainu with Japanese. Judging from the atmosphere of everyone, they don't seem to know each other, and I feel that he not friends with that Wajin. As I was fantasizing, the young man seemed to have recovered a little and was able to have a little conversation with everyone. However, there was a little blood flowing from the young man's head, and he could not stand up on his own, probably because he was dizzy. So a fellow man decided to return to the village with the young man on his back. The men took turns carrying the young man on their backs and moving to the village. On the way back, I began to worry about the voice of Tokubshoop, which I had just heard. What I can understand is Tokubshoop's emotions and the words she spoke aloud. But the sound I heard this time was different from the sound I heard when her spoke aloud. Is this a heart-to-heart? Is that a little different? Is she evolving? It could be. I've thought a little bit about why I came here, but this experience may be a clue to the answer. I have other things to worry about, and I'll talk to Tokubshoop when I get back to the village. In front of that giant tree. Today's story ends. The story is updated next Saturday. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel. See you again.